I think it's going to be a game changer this race here. We got a lot of backstories too leading into this race, right, Ryan?
We do have a lot of backstories. We'll get to those as soon as we can. But we're in qualifying just at the moment as we're going to go on track. And let's check out the action. Rasmus Salah's looked very, very quick in pre-practice, as has, of course, Toby Davis, Gregory de Grieve, Jesper Tolborg, Chris Butcher, all the usual suspects, all looking very quick indeed. And here is Gregory de Grieve. He's on a qualifying run at the moment. He's a bit quiet this season, has been Gregory, but slowly but surely coming back towards the front, do you think?
For sure. I mean, Gregory's one of the most dominant drivers in Touring Pro Series, hands down, over the seasons. And I mean, he's got something to prove, I think. And quickest guy in practice so far. He had a great run at the round 2 there, where he almost pulled it off with a fuel run. Mm-hmm. But no, I definitely think it's just a matter of time before we see him at the top spot again.
And in fact, looking back at that race, it was actually a mistake after the contact between Tolborg and Butcher, which saw Balaka go through. There was a mistake just after that, down at Cunningham, where de Grieve went off, and that dropped him in behind Balaka, and that possibly, cost him the win. So he'll be looking for none of those sort of mistakes here today.
Oh, for sure.
Jesper Tolborg had an eventful race at Sebring, as we saw, hit twice by Chris Butcher during that race.
Yes.
Also came into contact with Salo at the final corner, but no portion blamed to either driver there. Salo actually changed down from third to first, and that sent the rear end around. Tolborg tapping him into a spin, but he had a bit of an eventful race at Sydney Park at the weekend also, didn't he?
Yes, he did. I mean, the Iceman has kind of lost the title a little bit with a few uncharacteristic mistakes in recent races, and I think he's looking to make up for that, because anytime you give up a race win like that, you have to redeem it. You have to redeem yourself. It's just part of being a racer.
Just to interrupt there, Gregory de Grieve with a 55.371. That is actually the absolute fastest time we've seen of anybody during the last 2 weeks, by 0.003 of a second from Toby Davis on a 3.74. So Gregory de Grieve means business, and that is good for the race.
Definitely. Well, he's sitting second in the points right now. He's 34 points back of Toby Davis, who's basically been untouchable so far this season. He's 5 out of 6 for a perfect season almost. Pole, fastest lap, and race win in almost 2 events. He just didn't get the pole in round 2.
Yeah, he's been absolutely on fire at the start of this, but he is driving with a strained ligament in his thumb. He's not finding it too problematic. He had a decent run at Sydney Park. Not able to get a good result in the end, but he is still able to put in some fast times here. But I wonder if it will disturb his consistency or concentration.
Well, I didn't think it was a ligament. I thought it was a hangnail, because we all, But no, it definitely.
It's a fractured eyelash.
A ligament in any finger, trying to grip onto anything will definitely give you irritation over a long period of time. The more you're trying to use it, so it definitely would play a factor into his concentration. And Toby's one guy to try to keep focused, but he can get distracted by shiny objects sometimes too.
And the shiny object, of course, is the win here today, so maybe be distracted by that. And 4th place at the moment in the standing and in the qualifying is Florian Strauss.
Yes.
This car is not the quickest over 1 lap here, but on the race run, he's my tip for the victory.
Well, he's coming off a big victory in the V8s, huge. He even made an inspirational video based on his win there and his championship run. And I definitely agree with you. I think he's going to be a really big contender here today, because he's just, after watching him in practice, he's so consistent, so smooth. Carter never seems to be out of shape with Florian.
Well, we're talking about Jesper Tolborg bouncing back, but this is the king of bouncing back, Florian Strauss. This season he's had so many difficulties during the V8 season, and of course last time around at Sebring he didn't even make it into the race after technical problems. So this is the bounce back ability of this German driver. He really is a fantastic driver, and it's a pleasure to see him on track at the moment. 5th place at the moment is Vladislav Balaka. Now he had a very good run at Sebring, of course, with that podium position. We're looking for more fireworks from him today.
Ooh.
And that's not how you do fireworks, Vladislav. Just as I talk you up, you go straight off the track.
One good thing about Virginia, though, is there's a lot of runoff areas, so I don't think you're going to see many people get race-ending collisions. I think if there's any contact... Yeah, maybe.
It's right to find something. 2nd place, Rasmus Salo. He's looked very, very quick in pre-practice also as well. 55.4 I've seen him do. And he's on a 55.6 at the moment, so he's 2nd place. ahead of Toby Davis. Toby Davis still 0.6 of a second off Gregory DeGreeve's time. Of course, it's such a long lap here, and such a short qualifying session, you really cannot afford to make mistakes on 2 of your runs.
No,
you only get maximum 3, perhaps.
And we did coin Rasmus Salo as the new raw steel and sex appeal machine.
The RS.
Looks good. He looks real good in that Holden.
He does. And he could have had a 4th position at Sebring if it wasn't for that tiny error in the final corner, just changing down 2 gears instead of 1. That became a 6th instead of a 4th. Which annoyed me because I lost points in the prediction game as a result of that. And that's bound to take the Oak Tree corner, Rasmus. Trying to do that in the race too much. But he's on an outlap at the moment, so it won't harm him too much. Of course,
Pole has been taken by Jesper Talberg with a 55-1.
55-1? How on earth has Jesper Talberg done that?
Well, this is looking good for my
final parts of his lap.
Oh, Gregory
gave his 2 tenths up on him in the first sector.
Wow.
And we'd not be able to see the rest of it. Talberg's lap, unfortunately. We can see him cross the line for that 55-1.82. That's a phenomenal lap time. Really.
Well, let's see what Gregory's got. Stunking. If he's already a 1.18 down in the sector 1, I think he could take this because he's going to lose a little bit down the back straight here.
Oh, he's pulled off.
Oh, wow.
But of course the back straight, he loses a lot of time down the back straight compared to a Holden. Holden just steams down that long straight, right up that hill as well. And Chris Butcher is up into 4th position now. Means Toby Davis is in 5th and on an outlap once again. So he's probably only got maybe 2 opportunities left to put a good lap in. And qualifying has been his Achilles heel.
Yeah,
we saw at Spa. He got pole by 1,000th of a second despite being dominant.
We all know what his starts can be like, though. I mean, look at it was a Sebring incredible start where he jumped from I think 7th up to like 3rd or 4th. It just every time he takes off the line, he's making up positions. It's just a given.
But Toby went from 3rd to 1st, of course. Yeah, Chris Butcher also a good start from 8th to 4th. So yeah, those two really do have these starts very well mastered. But Toby here, as I say, qualifying is not going well for him this season. Despite being fastest in pre-practice at Sebring, he came 3rd. Just snatched the pole position by 1,000ths of a second at Spa. And again here, in 5th place at the moment, going for another run. And let's stick with him throughout this run. Let's go on board with him. He comes down towards turn 1, this very long, flashes his lights at Strauss. And there is Peter Clausen also getting out of the way. Down this first corner, this long first corner, this absolutely kills the tyres, Keith.
Oh, for sure. It's just so long. It's what's that corner called? It's the Horseshoe, I think.
Yeah, and this is now into NASCAR Bend, so named because during one of the Trans Am races in the late 60s, several great NASCAR drivers, including people like Richard Petty, went off at that corner, and they renamed it as a result.
Looks good.
Does look good. It's a bit untidy through there. Oh, traction not getting down too much there, but we'll see what kind of sector time he's got.
Well, he's going to need to be a 43 in around 43 for sector 1. It looks like. Let me check this timing here.
A 42.9. It's a 42.9, and
that is fast.
That is a 10th up on Jesper Talborg, but of course Jesper Talborg's strong sector is the 2nd and the 3rd.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to make all that time up in the first sector.
Yep.
If you want to get ahead of Jesper here. But Jesper will have the racing advantage, though. That's another big thing.
Mm-hmm. Especially down the straight. If you're just behind someone down the straight, and then you've got no chance. There's nothing to defend.
No. And it's so wide here. I mean, he can pick and choose a lane at will. And it's good to see, though. Rasmus Salo, there's 2 Holdens in the top 3 right now.
Mm-hmm. It's going down the roller coaster, down towards the final corner. And it looks like a decent lap. 14 slower than Talborg in that second sector, and Greg Rodriguez is once again up in that first sector, but of course he has to be, because he has to compete with the power of that Holden. Although the Nissan is slightly faster than the Ford down the straight, so we'll see what kind of time that he loses. And Toby Davis is up into 3rd. He's up into 3rd. That's a solid run from Toby. He'll be fairly pleased with that. Let's go on board with Gregory. See what
coming through the Oak Tree.
Coming out of the Oak Tree. Saw a very good line there from Strauss at the Oak Tree. He cuts right across the track on the inside, almost touching the tyre barriers that protect you from the tree. I was very impressed by that. And he's in a very tight battle with Vladislav Belarka for that 6th and 7th. Without less than a 10th apart in both of them in the 635. And Gregory's way down.
I'm looking at the top speeds here in our live timing. Gregory's only hitting 254 kilometers an hour. The fastest car on track is Toby Davis at 258.1 kilometers an hour.
Wow.
That's phenomenal.
How's he beating Tolbog down straights?
I'm not sure. But that's fast.
Whatever he's doing is working.
Yeah, whatever he's doing is working.
Obviously, Tolbog has to break a bit earlier. Perhaps that's part of the
Gregory going to
reason
do it?
For that.
Nope.
Gregory, no, he was way down after that. He can match Tolbog in that final sector. Just the second sector be, of course, a difficulty. The first sector he's fine. He's faster than Jesper. That middle sector is where he needs to make it all up again. But a 3.71 was a superb lap time. He'll be very annoyed when he set the fastest lap time of anybody. So you know what it's like, Keith. You've set the fastest lap time of anybody so far. You think, yes, yep. I've got this.
Oh yeah. You
and
think
then somebody comes up with even better. It's just.
Oh, I know. You don't know where it comes from.
It's absolutely galling.
You're sitting there scratching your head. You're going, "How is this possible? I thought this was as fast as anyone's going to go." And then all of a sudden, you get Jesper coming in and taking him by almost 2/10.
We saw that happen at Sydney Park, in fact, actually, between Strauss and Schleimer.
The back and forth. That's the fun part of qualifying.
Strauss, looked beautiful lines at the roller coaster there, and out of the final corner, following Ivo Simons. And the black and red Texaco Ford Sierra Cosworth.
Got a little bit of a draft.
He's not going to improve his time, though, I don't think.
No.
Days in 6th. Very consistent, of course. Of course, that car is not... Its forte is not over that one lap. Its forte is over the long distance where it looks after its tyres. 7th is Balarka. 8th is Tommy Oyala. He's a former winner, of course, remember, in the World Touring Masters. Taking the win at Trois-Rivières, where consistency paid off. Of course, Tommy Davis helped him by A, crashing, and B, taking out Peter Develat. But we'll move on from that. 9th place, William Levite, having a great season so far in that Alfa Romeo, following on for his strong results in the World V8 Supercars in the last 2 rounds. Eunice Ravio is in 10th. 11th is Ivo Simons. He'll be fairly happy with that. Maybe look to improve a little bit more, but it's half a second just to improve one position there. So there's a big gap between the top 10 and the rest of the field. And so just to go down the rest of the field here. There's Mussonen in 18th, Lennon 22nd. He's been struggling of late, both in the V8 and in this World Touring Masters Series. Further down the field, Shannon Blond is here today. Hopefully he doesn't have the problems he's had in the last couple of races.
Jesper just beat his time by half a tenth.
Half a tenth of a second, Jesper beat his time by. That's fantastic.
I just noticed on the live timing, whenever there's a car ahead of his own lap time, or ahead of the leader's lap time, their little icon bursts into flames.
Yeah.
That's indeed. So awesome.
It is awesome on a hot lap. Davis is 1/10 up in the first sector, but Butcher is 2/10 up in that first sector. So Butcher is in with a chance of improving his 5th position without a doubt, or maybe challenging those top 2 in the front row. Toby is down. Butcher's only 1/10 down.
Wow.
In the second sector. We're coming towards the final sector now, where the Sierra is just as quick, if not quicker, than the Holden. So we'll see what Chris has got. Very smooth, just about stopping the car into the roller coaster. Down the roller coaster he goes. Name that for obvious reasons. Into the final corner.
Good.
It looked good. Oh no,
he's
a bit wide.
He should be okay.
That would have been a superb lap time from Chris.
He would have easily been in the top 3.
What has Davis got? Can he improve? No, he can't. 55, 6, 7, 8. Not improved.
Butchie.
And Toby Davis, that was his final run at the track as well. Who else is out on track? Balarka is out on track, but will not get another lap in. Jesper is out on track. Yeah, he's on track still. Not sure what for, because all these male rebels are now in the pits. Obviously just enjoys rubbing it in. I think that's everybody finished now. Nobody seems to be on a lap apart from Jesper Tolborg. Try and run
He's
through
looking
the field
for a little bit of airtime.
Oh, Lennon here. Here we are. Lennon is on a final lap. Not sure he's got time to finish it. Don't know if he crossed the line in time.
In Ben Crooks' old car, who is not racing with us today, unfortunately.
He's not. He just moved home. No internet, so unfortunately not able to do so. But Lennon's not having a great time this season in this car. Came second in the championship last year. He's had no changes to it this season, so struggling slightly in the Rover. that the strongest Rover driver this season has been Erik Tveit, despite his crash-happy status. And Levaik jumps up to 8th with a final lap, last gasp lap.
Ah, that's the Alpha, the best sitting Alpha. A nice variety up front, though. I mean, you got a Holden, Skyline, Sierra, another Holden, Sierra, 2 BMWs, and an Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
the series is all about.
Yep, it's going to be a nice variety.
We'll let him improve. Sorry, Keith, we'll let him improve. He does. He improves 6 positions. He's back up into the midfield rather than near the back of the pack. We've got 34 drivers here today. Everybody is within the 106% marker.
So everyone is racing.
Everyone is racing. Although Scott Sober, who has not been able to get under that, did not qualify or take part, so perhaps he felt he wasn't going to anyway. But we've got 34 races around this track.
Jesper's getting some congratulations from his competitors. I think Toby's a little surprised with the pace because I was not expecting to see a lap that fast, to be honest.
Was a 0.1. That's quite incredible.
Phenomenal. And I mean, I know Toby's put in his practice for sure, because he always does, and I'm sure that he's on the ragged edge to pull a 55.5 off. So, it could be Talberg and De Grief. It could be a good battle for the lead up front between the two of them. We know they can both race, and I know Gregory's got something to prove. And Jesper just left the game. He says he'll be right back. Okay. Whew. I thought we were going to have another Florian Strauss incident like at Sebring.
Better not. But actually, the top 3 exactly the same as at Sebring. We've got Jesper on pole, De Grief alongside him, and
that's right.
Third.
That's right.
So maybe it's not so surprising.
No, I know. I didn't even think about that. Where was Salo in the qualifying from the?
I think it was around about 6th, I think, because Strauss was in 4th after qualifying.
Yes,
of course he lost that because he didn't get back in warm-up, unfortunately. Jesper's back into the game.
Okay,
so
fantastic.
No dramas there at all, which is fantastic.
Yep, we like to keep the drama till when people are actually racing.
So on the 5th row was Oyala and Ravio. They are very good friends, and both in Sierras. So that's a nice 5th row for those guys. They're friends with Salo as well, and Salo actually picked the Sierra this season, but unfortunately, too many people ahead of him picked the Sierra. He had to go with the Holden. But it's not been serving him too badly so far. 11th place, Andy Oakley. 12th place, Ivo Simons. Andy Oakley just pipped ahead of Ivo Simons there. Andy's having a decent season, in the Skyline. He really is. And Erik Tveit in 13th, the best of the Rovers. 14th, JRG. 15th, Juhan Maki-Jupi. Again, friends with his fellow Scandinavians, Salo, Ravio, Oyala. Lennon in 16th. 17th is the brother of Toby, who's also in Andy Rouse Sierra Cosworth. 18th, Peter Bartfai. That's much better than he's been doing lately as well. He says he's found a bit of a secret, a bit of a key to unlocking how to drive these cars lately, and he's much happier for it, and that's shown in his lap time there. 18th. He was involved in that huge start line crash. We didn't catch it on the broadcast, actually, Keith. There was a massive start line crash was that 5 or 6 cars.
At Sebring?
At Sebring, yeah, there was. Didn't quite catch it on the broadcast. What happened was Vaughan pulled across to the right-hand side of the road because he was having technical problems with the frame rates. And Mustonen, who's in 19th, he collected him. Couldn't see him because he just appeared nowhere because of the visible cars problem, because everyone's going past Vaughan so quickly. It caused a 5 or 6 car pileup. Peter Vartby was involved in that. David Junt, Mika Musin, of course. I think Roy Magnez. Several drivers. But hopefully we won't have those problems again here because it's just a daytime. 20th, David Junt. He'd be a little bit disappointed with that. In fact, he'd be very, very disappointed with that. Because he's had some excellent results in the V8. Not quite unlocked how to drive these Sierras. Alberto Asnahi, 21st. He's beaten his... where is his?
His brother
he's
not there?
He's absolutely thrashed his brother, Ricardo. Because Ricardo's back in 31st.
Yes,
so Alberto emphatically takes the family honours there. 22nd, Tony Matthews. He'd be very pleased with that. That's, I think, his best qualifying of the season. 23rd, Meervold. That's a bit lower down than he would like to be, considering, of course, the fact that he's in the same car that's on pole position. 24th, Peter Clausen. 25th, Francesco Hubert. 26th, Shannon Blonde, who's a little bit happier as well with his car. He's not that far off improving up into the top 20, so he was struggling earlier in the season. After some help from Toby Davis, the Mustang is a bit more to his liking now. 27th, Andy Bernard. 28th, Jeff Dobbing. 29th, Christoph Bajura. 30th Yara Venari, 31st Lee Palmer, 32nd is Ricardo Nahi, 32nd, sorry, not 31st. 33rd David Janderson, and 34th Roy Magnus. That fills out.
We've lost Chris Butcher. He's left and he has not returned. He has a minute to get back in. We also lost Juha Makiyupi. He left as well. But the big story is Chris Butcher. Not sure what. Again, he may be leaving to reset his Motec, but cutting it a bit close.
It is cutting a bit close.
If he does have a technical issue, he will not be a happy camper.
He will not be at all. Let's hope he gets back into. He's got plenty of time to do so. So, your predictions for this race, Keith, was that Jesper would win.
I had picked Jesper for fast lap, pole, and the win, with Gregory DeGrief second, followed by Toby in third, Florian Strauss in fourth, Berlach at fifth, and Salo in sixth. And I'm pretty close right now.
What was my prediction again, Keith? Can't remember exactly what I tipped Strauss for the win. DeGrief second.
I'll find it just 1 second here for you.
Davis third, Butcher's back into the game. Hopefully Makiyupi can make it as well. He's got 5 seconds. Juha. He's not going to make it unless he gets back in.
Unfortunate.
Oh, and
well, Chris made it just in the time. So, but Chris is the wild card, I think. You had picked Strauss for the win, Davis for second, DeGrief third, Berlach fourth, Talberg in fifth, and Salo in sixth, with the pole going to Toby and fast lap going to Jesper. Most points for the Fords.
I've already lost. Well, shows how well I know the series. Obviously, not like I've been commentating on it for 3 seasons or anything.
This is the first time I've ever actually made a prediction in the prediction game, and it's looking pretty good.
So, everyone is gridding up. Of course, there is a formation lap. Everyone will travel around the circuit.
One thing I didn't get a chance to do was talk to Toby about. Or any of the other drivers about their potential strategies. I guess it's going to be the same as what we had at Sebring, where you could do. Well, Gregory was the only guy who tried to do it in 1 stop. Or no, was it at 2 stops?
Gregory didn't stop at all.
Didn't stop at all?
No.
Not even for tires? Huh.
Not even for tires. They set off on their formation lap. My heart skipped a little bit of a beat then, because the way Talbot was starting, I thought I'd forgotten to put the formation lap into the server. But no, I didn't.
So we're looking at 29 laps for this race. Give or take, it's going to be around an hour-long race if you take pit stops in, like maybe about 55 minutes total.
Yep, it's the standard length of a WTM race, really. 150 kilometres, of course, 29 laps.
And 150 kilometres of pure excitement.
Hopefully, yep, definitely. I'm looking for a good race at the front between Talborg, Davis, Sala, Butcher, Strauss, Balaga, Levaik. See if Levaik can get a good start and get in the mix.
Well, Levaik will be
these power cars.
Well, Levaik will definitely be happy to be in the top 8. I know he's been struggling with frame rates. I know a lot of the other racers have been trying to help him get sorted out, but it's good to see he's got his issues sorted out and he can just race with no outside forces.
As the cars make their way up over the humpbacks there, which we did visit this track in season 1. However, we were on a different version. We are on a different version this time in this season.
And who was the
Gregory DeGrief won that race.
He did?
He did indeed.
Maybe looking to repeat that performance, then I would guess.
Yep, and it was actually Ben Crooks who took pole position that time around. So Ben Crooks isn't obviously here today. Talborg was but a glimmer in RD's eye at that point.
Yes, he was. That's right. Yeah, I think that was right around the time me and him started racing in club races and battling tooth and nail like we're racing in a league every single club race.
Having said that, actually, I think Jesper was in this race in season 1.
You know what?
I think it was in the 635 that Balaka is now driving.
Huh. Well, isn't that so? He's back here with sitting on pole position. I'm sure he obviously he didn't win or he must not have done very well. But otherwise, you wouldn't remember it because I think he was still just getting himself situated as one of the top ranked sim racing drivers. I would say pretty well anywhere.
And who's that going off the track? Oh, David Junt's managed to go off the track on the formation lap. Nice work. But he managed not to
David.
spin.
Had to start a slow clap. You know, there's certain times that call for a slow clap. When someone manages to drive off in the pace lap, they get a slow clap.
They get a slow clap. And all the drivers now forming up on the grid. Here we come.
My heart's racing. I'll follow
Gregory
the tail of the
DeGreef
grid.
He's behind Jesper Torbog. Toby Davis just getting himself manoeuvred into position.
Okay, everyone
Look
seems
for
to
him
be getting
shooting
lined
through
up.
back.
Ben Davis is lining up now. Back to Bartfi, Mustonen, Junt, Aznagi, Matthews. They're all just making their way. Okay, everybody, nice and easy. Okay, everyone is in line, so we're going to be starting the race very shortly here.
Oh,
here we go.
Here we go. Lights are about to go out. And I think Sala was creeping on the line there. And a great start from Gregory DeGreef. Torbog's back to second. Butcher and Davis all over him. Balaka's on the grass. And Sala's going down the inside of Strauss. Strauss has been squeezed between Balaka and Sala. He's going through on the braking though. DeGreef leads. Torbog second. Davis is still in third. Butcher is challenged on the inside though. Butcher challenged on the inside is going to be balked by Torbog.
Oh my
He's
God.
3 wide and towards the NASCAR bed. Oh, Davis on the grass. Contact between Davis and Butcher. Offers Gonzalo. He's gone way back in the field. Where's he at? There he is. He's going to go back
rejoined.
to about 15th position. He's gone back towards the front of the field. Contact between Oyala and Balaka, it looks like. But Davis somehow managed to keep in third. Davis is still in third. Butcher is in fourth, and he's under massive pressure from Strauss here. But DeGreef has got the jump. DeGreef has the jump, and he has to make it count down to the oak tree because Jesper Torbog, of course, with that Holden power, has the huge advantage.
Huge advantage.
But a great start from there from DeGreef.
Oh, it was incredible. It looked like Jesper just was... he might have slipped the clutch a little too much. It didn't look like he bogged because he was still rolling. I don't know. I just maybe sleeping at the switch.
And just keep an eye out for whether Salo got a penalty for creeping on the line.
I'm watching the backfield here. I got it on my other screen.
Not been a good lap at all.
Oh,
that's the case.
Simon's got around an oak tree. You can see him just in the background, but we should stay with the leaders, though.
Torbog right behind Gregory DeGreef, heading up the hill.
Oh, look at this.
This is where the Holden DeGreef tries to defend, but Torbog's just about past before they got to the break. Torbog's going off across the grass. DeGreef cuts back underneath. Oh, DeGreef had to correct it. It's going to be passed by Davis. Contact. Davis and DeGreef contact up on the curves, both of them. DeGreef is fighting back. Davis is through. Up into second. He took advantage of all that. DeGreef had to get out of the way of Torbog sliding across the grass, and now he's under pressure. Butcher, the sideways coming out the final corner, and Strauss is there. Strauss is loving this, because while these guys are fighting amongst themselves, his 635 going to keep up and just look after its tyres. He'll be loving this, and Butcher now having a look at DeGreef. We've had history between these two before. He's off the track. He's made contact with DeGreef, and Butcher is off the track once again. Under braking, trying to pass DeGreef. We saw this happen at Sebring. It's happened again. He's back to sixth. Go back up towards DeGreef.
Is this just lap one?
DeGreef, Davis, Torbog. Torbog still leading. Davis right behind, but of course... Oh, DeGreef goes too deep. DeGreef went too deep there. Just tapped the back of Toby Davis. But Toby held it. It's a mistake there for DeGreef. Not going for a pass. Just a little bit deep under the brakes. And now Strauss. Look at Strauss.
Look at him.
So smooth. You guys fight amongst yourself, boys. I'll look after myself and wait till you drop the pieces and I'll pick them up.
Wow. What a start to a race. And this track is it's perfect for these cars. Lots of room. There are multiple places to make moves. Like Toby, forced the issue to get by Gregory, and I know Gregory's not going to forget that.
It was a strong move, but it was a very clean, hard move.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
And here is Davis. Davis has to get a great exit from the oak tree because he's just going to be mullered down the straight anyway.
Trying to make a move here. He's in.
And Strauss.
He got him.
Inside. What a move!
What a move from Florian
Strauss at the oak tree. That is worthy of a replay.
Oh, it is.
On board with Florian Strauss.
My name for him is a scientist. He's taking Steve Davis's title. He's a scientist.
And DeGreef made DeGreef go defensive, of course. Look at that. That was a beautiful drive. He made DeGreef go defensive and just cut back on the inside. It's a beautiful pass under the oak tree.
Oh, and DeGreef got him back.
DeGreef will be back through on the straight, of course. So DeGreef is back through with the extra power. That will frustrate Strauss no end.
Talk about a class field up here in the top 5 right now. These guys are...
Oh, DeGreef sideways! Oh, it's the second time he's been sideways there. And he's still sideways. He's struggling under power out of that final corner. But Balaka. Balaka has the run of Strauss now. And of course, Strauss doesn't have any power to fight back because they're in the same car. He's cutting him off. Oh, that was tight. He gave him just enough room, but he scared Balaka almost off the road. And Strauss is now hounding De Grief once again. He's get past in this first sector, I think, because then he can pull a gap out and be able to hold it down the straight. But De Grief is struggling. Not sure why De Grief is struggling so much.
Well,
he
maybe
looked good
a lot
in the
of
opening lap until that slide went behind Torborg. And now Balaka up the inside of Strauss. Balaka comes the inside of Strauss. And Balaka's going to make the deal stick. I think Strauss trying to keep around the outside. But no, great pass there from Vladislav. Another class act to the front of the field, Vladislav. Butcher is caught back up this group again as well, while Toby Davis and Jesper Torborg are clearing off up front. Here they are.
To answer your question, Ryan, Rasmus Salo did not have to serve a penalty. He's currently sitting in 10th place, battling with Andy Oakley. So his car's intact. He's just got to recover from that poor start there.
Yeah. Obviously got a bit hot under the collar with that jump start, almost a jump start, sorry. And now here's De Grief with the 65 in behind again at the Oak Not quite the same result as before. Oh, no, the track!
Jesper!
Oh, the track is Jesper! What on earth happened there? Jesper's off the track. Replay.
Oh, my... Oh, look
down
at
the hill
Davis.
He comes. Down the hill he comes, down towards Oak Tree. Did he just make a mistake? He must have just made a mistake because Toby Davis is nowhere near him. Oh, just too fast.
Oh, just
entering,
too hot.
Over the curb he goes, onto the grass, way out onto the grass. And now he's going to be way behind. He's lost 2 seconds doing that.
This is not what you want to have. You don't want to have Toby Davis leading the race. He gets clean air.
Just hand it to Toby Davis. Each time, we've seen it at Sebring, we've seen it here again.
Yeah, he's handed open air, and that is the worst thing because once he gets lapping, he can just pump him out lap after lap.
Lap after lap. Butcher's up to 5th as well, so Strauss is back to 6th. So Butcher has been able to power pass on the straight also, while Strauss is balked up in behind De Grief.
Look at
and
this.
Balaka. And Toby Davis, fastest lap of the race, he immediately takes advantage of all that.
Where did Butchie come from?
Butchie's just caught the cup because they're having such a big battle. Butchie's passed Strauss on the straight,
Oh,
and now he's on the inside of Balaka. We've seen this happen. Oh, De Grief is sideways as well, and Balaka had to get out of the way and sideways into Butcher and through went Butcher.
Gosh.
That's what's that on board from Strauss, because Strauss had the best view of that. Coming down into turn 1, here we are. Butcher up the inside, can't see for the smoke, stop locking the brakes up.
Oh, look.
And there's De Grief going sideways.
Sideways.
Balaka trying to go up the inside of De Grief as well, 3 wide in the exit. It didn't work, and Balaka's lost out.
There's a train of 5 cars right now battling with Jesper, De Grief, Butcher, Balaka, and Strauss. Now that is a train.
And Torborg has pulled away, of course. Look at the power that holds, and just out of this section here, just pulls away so much. It's incredible. De Grief is under big pressure from Butcher, who has gathered himself very impressively. Oh, that was a big run into the corner from Balaka. And now Butcher going around the outside at the Oak Tree. That's not going to work.
He crosses
over. Back on the exit, though, and it's going to go back on the exit. He's going to get the run. He's going to get the run. Will they have enough of the run, though? De Grief's going to get help from Balaka in behind him, pushing him along.
Oh, no help from Butchie.
Oh, this is side by side. These two do not have any love lost at all. And De Grief is squeezed across. Oh, what a move. He just had enough room to squeeze across.
Oh, my.
Just had enough room to squeeze across. De Grief is fighting for all his worth here. Some say he can't race, but there's showing in the last the first opening laps of this race, he's showing he can.
Well, the gap's now 2.7 seconds from Toby to Jesper, so Toby is kind of on a tear now.
He is. The gap was 1.9 seconds after the mistake, so Torborg needs to get the hammer down. 56.6 from Toby that time round. I think it was a 56. What was the lap time from Torborg? 57.0. So another 0.4 of a second lost there. Toby Davis, another fastest lap of the race. Gregory De Grief still in 3rd. How he's in 3rd still, but he is.
Look at this battle here. I mean,
this is insane.
There's a lot going on, but I mean, you can't take your eyes off this. Like this is non-stop action here. Oh, what hard on brakes.
De Grief is looking at those brakes a lot. And Strauss making a small error there. Just onto the curb on the outside. Not a big deal, however. Not going to pass anybody, so there's no point pushing too hard. He's so quick through that section there. Change direction. Seems to be so good for Strauss.
Yeah, it's down to 2.5 seconds. Or, no, just lost another 10th, 2.6.
And Balaka! Balaka through on Butcher! What happened there?
What a move!
Butcher just let him go through.
Huh. Maybe he was feeling a little generous, UNICEF style.
What happened there? Butcher he's got more power than the Strauss. Than the Strauss.
Is this like we've been seeing with him before? Like where just out of nowhere he just slows down and then lets people by and then gets going again? He did that. Remember he did that at Sebring.
Yes, he did. It's because he hit Jesper Tob off twice in the first 2 laps, but never mind. And now Butcher's back on him again. What's going on?
What is this?
And Balaka moved at the last second there. And that was dangerous defending, but it worked.
I got to point out one thing. Erik Tveit is having an excellent run. He's sitting in 7th place, just behind this battle. Like if there's a little bit more battling, he's going to be with them.
Oh, Balaka on the inside. Oh, he's hit the curb.
Oh my
Butcher's cut right across, and Butcher takes the position. Butcher up to 4th once again. Oh, Strauss trying to hit the back of his fellow 635 driver. The 635 drivers are getting absolutely battered from pillar to post here.
Oh, those cars can handle it. They can take a beating.
Look for them later in the race.
And Gregory has actually gapped himself away from these 3 now. Put his head down and just focused. Davis only a 57.4 that last lap.
And Torborg a 56.5.
Okay, now
fastest lap of the race.
56.5 is the fastest, right? Okay.
Yep. Beat Toby Davis's previous by a 10th. So Jesper took a second out of Davis on that lap.
One thing I'm noticing too is Rasmus Salo, Ross Steele, and Sex Appeal has actually closed up on Erik Tveit, and he's sitting in 8th place now, which is a really it's considerable to considering it's only been 5 laps, and he can actually see the battle for those 3 guys. Butcher,
it's only 3.5 seconds behind Keith.
No kidding. That's amazing. And he's had to battle back. He was in 15th place, and he's passed all these guys and managed to keep his pace and not lose this group ahead of him, which is phenomenal.
Look at William Levike, the poor guy, stuck him behind in that section, and then has to watch the Holden do this in this section. The poor guy.
And you cannot hold on to a Holden.
We have a wet race at Potrero later in the season, though, so all those Holden drivers will not be lapping then.
No.
Oh, no! Oh, Mr. Tveit! Mr. Tveit, just as we were saying, he's had a good run. Off goes Erik Tveit. He's hit the curb very, very hard. Oh, that's uncanny timing. Hit the curb hard, almost rolled it. Gets going again. He's back to 11th position. That's Eunice Ravio just behind him in 12th.
Oh,
so
that
Tveit gets going once again.
Could you imagine the view from Rasmus Salo? He's driving along all of a sudden. Let's see here.
Oh, look at the air time.
Let's see.
He just hits the curb so early.
Oh, when he lands, it just sends him up
flick
over.
Tower once again.
Yeah, Scandinavian flick.
Oh, look at that! Look at the air.
Yes. What do you say, Ryan? What do you say? 10s across the board and a 9 from the Russian judge.
Back to the live action. Salo's up to 7th now. He's 4.1 seconds behind this battle. Butcher's back down to 5th once again. Balaka's got past him again.
And the gap is now 1.2 seconds to leader. Butchie inside.
Butchie on the inside again. Oh, slow it down, Butch. Oh, it scares me every time he does that into the first corner. Every time he closing the gap still. Is that what you're saying, Keith?
1.2 seconds now.
1.2 seconds now gap.
Jesper did a 156.8 last lap.
Davis 157.2.
156.8, yeah. So Toby's pace has dropped off significantly, actually, compared to his earlier laps.
But Butcher is now back down to 5th again, sandwiching this 6.35 battle.
6.35 sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but they're closing in on Grief. Berlaka's De Grief is not pulling away from them like he was
before.
Not at
all. Even though they're battling, they're not pulling away.
No.
So I wonder if De Grief's on medium tyres, and because of the battling, not being able to take advantage of the medium tyres.
Maybe
the 6.35's gone for the non-stop hard route.
That would be, you know what,
fascinating to see.
We're gonna know a little bit more as we approach the halfway mark.
Yep.
To kind of Berlaka
sideways. Oh, Strauss a bit wide at the oak tree. Hubert we've lost in the race. Oyala we've also lost from the race. So that's a big game. But the gap between Torborg and Davies, look at this.
Ooh.
You can see very much so it's closed up. Less than a second now.
There was
about
a nice
6/10 of a second heading to the roller coaster.
There was a nice pass by Jay Adji over Andy Oakley. They're battling hard for the 10th position right now with Erik Tveit just in their mirrors.
Jay back into this area. He was in season 1. And Andy Oakley's got back past Jay Adji once again into the roller coaster under braking.
Good stuff.
So great stuff from Andy Oakley. It's off screen there. Let's go back and watch that actually, that little battle, because this battle... Oh, Butcher's going to have another look, I think, on Balaka once again down the straight. Strauss has made a small mistake at roller coaster, I think, because look at the gap. And look at Salo just in the background.
Is he going outside?
on Balaka. Right across the inside. Butchie not having the inside there. Just needs to put in. Just needs to put on.
Oh, he crossed over.
Crossover.
Nice
crossover.
move, Butchie. Nice move.
Yeah, Balaka's been done. Butcher's got past him.
Yep.
Oh, Balaka must be kicking himself.
Good racing.
He's sick of that Ford Sierra.
Oh, Tveit, just off screen, Tveit gets into Adji's rear bumper.
Balaka having a go at Butcher. Now, sorry guys who are watching this want to see further down the field, but this battle was enraging all the way, and it's been very entertaining indeed. We should just calm down for a second now. Let's go back and watch this battle for 9th position. Here's Jay Adji with damage to the back of his car. Was that caused by Eric Tveit, or was it caused earlier in the race?
If you follow along with that, I'll keep an eye on the front here and let you know if anything's going to happen. But there's actually that battle there. But if you go back, I think about to 15th, there's a battle with 6 cars right now, just raging. Oh, Davis is off in the oak tree. So's Jesper inside.
They're both off.
They're both off. And it's like nothing happened. Toby drives off. Yes, Jesper goes inside. He goes off. What is going on?
What is going on at this?
What is going on?
Oh, we're not going to see it on the replay. We're just off replay, but Davis went off. Topple went off even more.
Yeah. Davis drives off the outside, the first part of Oak Tree. Jesper comes in tight to take the position, and then he overdrives it, goes off the exit of Oak Tree, and then Toby cuts back across, and it's like nothing happened.
The same gap. The gap that's not the same is the back to the Grief.
Yes.
They lost 1.5 seconds doing that.
And Butchie's all over. Is Butchie all over the Grief now? Oh, sorry.
He was.
He was.
Not anymore.
Now Rasmus Salo is on the bumper of Florian Strauss.
There we go.
He almost jumped the start, and he drove off the track, dropping back to 15th, 16th in the first lap
at the time.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Great run by the new Ross Steele.
He's a worthy successor, really is.
He is, absolutely. Putting on a run like who was the Ross Steele from last season? It was
Anders Nilsson.
Anders Nilsson, yes. He put on some incredible comeback runs.
He did. One very notable, of course, Pukekohe, where he was challenging for the win in the first race.
Yes.
Hit Mark van der Kerk's errant car coming out the final corner. Wiped him out. As a result, had to start 26th in the second race and battled back all the way through to second. It was phenomenal. It was about 6th position in like 5 laps.
The track temperature also should note is 35 degrees right now. So these guys' tires are definitely going to be feeling it through turn 1, through the NASCAR corner. The heavier cars are going to be eating up their tires for sure.
We lost. We're only a third way through the race, and we lost Lee Palmer and David Anderson also now as well. Here's the battle back for 9th, and Tveit's got past Jay Adji, so that's now Oakley in 9th, Tveit in 10th, Adji back to 11th. Ravio's still keeping tabs on this battle. Simon's a bit lonely. Went off at he's got big damage to the front of his car also as well. Look at that. He's hit something hard. Here's Muutinen tracking him. He's improving from his run at Sebring. Here is Meervold. And further back through the field we go. There's Atnahi. Here is Gary Lennon. That battle seems to have broken up. Here's the other Atnahi brother, so he's caught right up to Alberto Ricardo. Here is Bajura. Here is Yari Venari. Here is Jeff Dobbing. 21st, 22nd Peter Clausen. 23rd is Shannon Blonde. The lone Ford Mustang. And Tony Matthews has lost it under brakes. That's a very strange place to go off.
Must have dropped the wheel when he was coming through on braking there. Must have been just an inch off the grass.
So he's now in 26th because Peter Bartford goes through to take 25th. Max is 27th and David Yuns, very unhappy race so far, 28th. But David Anderson, Lee Palmer, Francesco Huber and Tommy Oyala we've lost. And also, of course, we lost Ben Davis in the very first lap, I think.
That's unfortunate.
That's the second time this season off in the first lap.
It looks like we've spread out quite a bit now. I mean, we're talking at least a second gap or more between the majority of the cars now. But the top 7 right now are the same top 7 that qualified there. Actually, the top 8 is exactly as it was in qualifying. Well, not exactly, but the same 8 cars are in the top 8. After all of that shuffling and 10 laps of racing, they're still in the top 8. William Levike is back in his 8th position. Salo's making his way back up.
Let's just recap what's happened in this race so far, driver by driver. Toby Davis qualified third and got a good start, but it still stuck into third. And then Torborg and De Grief went at it, and Davis took advantage, arched his way past Gregory De Grief, and then he got the position from Torborg when Torborg went wide at the Oak Tree. He's also been wide himself at one point where Torborg also went wide again, so he's still kept the lead ever since then. Torborg, of course, he qualified in pole position and then lost the lead off the start. With the poor start, went back to second. De Grief went through, and then Torborg went off Oak Tree after retaking the lead and handed the lead to Toby Davis. He's been fighting back ever since. De Grief took the lead of the race, has been under huge pressure from people like Butcher, Balaka and Strauss, but somehow has managed to fight all of them off and pull a gap. And he's 4.2 seconds off the lead now.
Ooh, look at how close Jesper is to Toby now.
Just a second is the gap. Chris Butcher has had an eventful race once again. He qualified in 5th position. Tried to get around the contact between him and Davis on the first corner, actually, and the second corner. And also, Butcher went off at turn 1 on the second lap. Went from 4th to 6th, sideways into NASCAR bend as well. And he's forced his way through an entertaining battle between the 635s, but he's managed to get past them now. Balaka has been setting himself about, and he's been driving very well indeed. He's ahead now of Florian Strauss, despite the fact he qualified just behind him. Rasmus Salo had a very poor start to the race, almost jumped the start, went off the track, went back to about 16th, 17th position after NASCAR bend, because that car is as close to a NASCAR as going to get in this field as well, so it's fitting he went off that corner. And he's forced his way back through very, very well indeed, now right behind Florian Strauss, but looking perhaps like he's used his tyres very, very hard, because he's not quite as close as he was before. Oh, he's off! Oh, no! Salo is off! Backwards onto the track, don't back into the barrier! Oh,
he's safe.
Kept it out of the barrier. Just into that first corner there. I think he put a wheel on the grass.
I was asleep at the switch. I just saw him coming around when you started screaming. What happened there?
Put a wheel on the grass, I think. Let's go ball with him. Oh, just a wheel on the grass for entering. Just spat him around.
Such a tough spot to do that too.
And he's on straight
you're so
off.
high speed.
And all that hard work he's put in to catch back up to the top 6 has now all been lost. And I'd be very surprised if he manages to make that up again in the rest of the race. But Levaik is loving that. He's back up to 7th.
Yep, there you go. Now
Thank you very much.
Picked up a spot. One thing also I'll point out, our man Buchacho has the fastest lap of the race, which he did. I don't know exactly. I think it was done on lap 2 or 3, a 56.491. So he's sitting with the fastest lap at this point in time.
He was indeed. Sorry for the misinformation there, guys. I said that Torborg had the fastest lap with a 56.5, but in fact Butcher set that lap 56.4, a couple of laps before Torborg. And Butcher's having a battle with Balaka as well as we speak. This battle is back on. It's been entertaining. It's all race long so far.
Round 3.
Balaka's trying to squeeze on the inside. And Butcher just about giving him enough room, but also keeping himself ahead. Good driving from both of them there. And now Butcher's on the inside. Balaka trying to go around the outside. It's not the place to be at NASCAR bend. That's for sure. And Strauss. Balaka got up the inside. Butcher knew that Balaka was going to come for a run and almost lost it on the power.
And look, here comes a scientist just slowly creeping up. All right, you guys battle it out.
And Oakley into the pits and out once again on lap 12. I wonder if he went mediums in his first stint.
Yeah, we're at lap 12, so it would be mediums would be pitting right about now, I would think.
Oh, Balaka pushing so hard through the fast bends there. And looks like I think he's going to have a go into the Oak Tree, He's going to have a go. Out to the final corner of the S-bends, that is. Didn't quite get the run out to that corner that I thought he would.
He's sideways!
He's sideways! He's around! Strauss almost hit him! Well avoided, Strauss! Strauss sideways also as well. Balaka! Oh, Balaka!
Burlak. Sounds like some really good vodka.
He's going to need some vodka to drown his sorrows after that, because he went sideways. He was closing right in on Chris Butcher. Just pushed a bit too hard into Oak Tree. You've seen how dangerous that corner is.
Yeah.
In this race so far.
Look who it's got. It's already got Toby. It's got Jesper. Who else has gone off there? Berlaka. A number of people have had incidents.
Simon's gone off there at the opening lap as well.
Yeah, exactly.
With or without help, we didn't quite see.
It's the tree, I'm telling you. It just if it reaches out and grabs you.
Spooks the drivers. Butcher doesn't mind. He's now in a free fall.
He's into the pits.
Butcher into the pits. So he's gone from an early... he slid right to a stop. This misses
What is he parking?
Chris Butcher. He lost himself valuable seconds there. Maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, he did recover quite nicely though. Let's see how long the pit stop is.
Just
11.7.
Oh. So
that's a fairly long stop.
Well, Oakley's only 9.3.
That's a fairly long stop. Well, I guess it's taking into account the fact of how long it took him to get stopped, right?
Well, I think the pit time is just a stationary time rather than the actual bursting back into the box. So perhaps that might cost him that fourth position. Maybe Strauss come out ahead of him after the pit stops, if Strauss makes a pit stop, that is, of course.
Oh, and Berlocka's off again.
Berlocka's off again?
What happened there? Let's see what we can see there. Because I missed that.
It's just a small mistake.
A little wide.
Not a big deal, I don't think, too much. Into NASCAR Ben. Looking very normal. Of course, to be annoyed with himself. It disturbs his concentration as well, doesn't it? Oh, just on the curve slightly. That was not too big a deal.
He made a nice save though. Nice save. So all that the time that Butchie lost in the pits, he's going to be that just equaled it up.
Strauss is off the track at the grassy section, coming down towards the oak tree. It doesn't make a mistake into the oak tree.
So it looks like Jesper is running a pace of 50, like anywhere between 57.1 and 57.5.
I'm fancying Jesper to challenge for the lead and take the win after the pit stops, you know. Really
I think so too. I am too. I think he knows that that's the case. I think he realizes they're both on the same strategy at this point. But you know what? You got to remember, Gregory DeGrief is one wily coyote when it comes to strategy. So I would definitely expect to see him there.
Interesting, Keith, is that Chris Butcher pitted on lap 12.
Yeah, I know. Well, he must be on a two-stop. He must be.
A two-stop? Well, 17 laps, that wouldn't be profitable.
Oh, no, that's
surely.
right. No, 20. So 20,
29
I was
laps.
thinking it was a longer race. So maybe
he's going to do 17 laps on one set of tyres, which is a lot more than the rest of the guys are doing.
Do you think he's going to go with hards? And
he must have gone with hard. Yeah, they definitely would not last.
Mediums would not last at this temperature. It's 36 degrees now.
Yeah, maybe he just drove them too hard and had to pit early, and his compromised strategy as a result.
Berlocka is into the pits.
Berlocka into the pits on lap 13.
He got in perfect, no mistakes, no anything. Let's see the time. Pit stop 8.4.
Well, he goes 8.4. See, look at that.
Oh,
3
Butchie.
seconds.
There goes Butchie.
Butchie through though. There was a big gap between Butcher and Berlocka, of course. I have to remember after the.
That's right.
The mistake that Berlocka made. Of course, Berlocka made another mistake later on. Ravio's up to 6th. The Vikings up to 5th, as we're told to not stopping. Will Torborg and Davis pit this time around? That's the big question. It's lap 14, so it's almost halfway.
It's about that time. There's been a battle going on between Simons and Adji, just constant.
Trying to jump into that. There we are.
9th and
Simons
10th.
has caught up to Adji.
Yeah, they've been bumper to bumper for the past, I think, 3 or 4 laps.
You see, if these drivers hadn't been separated all race long, then I would suspect that Evo's front damage came from Jay Adji's rear damage, but of course that's not the case. They're just match. And Evo looked much quicker than Jay. Much quicker. Change of direction in that car, looking much better. And he's just pulling out of the mirrors there, just to give Adji something to think about through the fast section. It's almost worked. But Jay's a very calm driver. Some great runs last season in the Alfa Romeo, if you remember, at Brands Hatch, for example.
Yep, that's right. Our leaders are now within 0.8 of each other. Jesper's just sniffing up the back of Toby here.
Oh, Torborg
off screen.
Simon just coming out of the oak tree. Will he have a run?
Looks good.
Looking back, got the slipstream.
Oh, look at the damage too.
And that was huge damage.
Oh,
he
he's
hit
pulling
the
out
inside
just the right time.
The oak tree. Going to come through. I think Jay's fighting it very hard because he can see that Evo has a bit better.
Oh, nice move.
Great move there from Evo. Very nice and smooth. Oh, Jay, get it stopped. Jay is a very big picture kind of guy. He knows exactly when to push and exactly when not to. So go back through the field. Berlocka's 8th. Ravio and Levaik haven't pitted. Well, Levaik has not pitted this time around. Neither is Strauss, DeGrief, or Torborg, or Davis.
Nope, the leaders have not pitted yet. So you got DeGrief is 5.6 seconds back.
Ravio's in. Simon's in as well. And Adjish follows in him.
Maybe they want to keep that battle going. Butch, I just happened to see Butchie off screen. He's really pushing hard to make up time. I think he's actually gonna hurt himself by doing this, pushing so hard right now.
He is. And now Evo's out of the pits. Where's Jay Adji at? Jay Adji's been left behind. Yeah. There's Jay Adji still in the pits. Oh, what's going on here?
Oh, he must have had damage to be repaired.
He's not unticked to that bodywork damage thing. He's stuck in the pit still. Look at this. And Ravio's stuck in the pit ages as well. Look at this. It costed them both hugely. Ravio's miles ahead of these guys. 41 seconds, Ravio. That's a schoolboy error. And Adji's done exactly the same thing.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah, that's not like those guys either.
Talberg's right on the back of Davis.
Go back through the field. We're way down the field now.
Right on the back of Davis.
Here we are, into the roller coaster. And the Holden is still holding its tires together. Holding its tyres together. At the end of the stint, not what we expected.
No, I was not expecting this at all. His pace is 57.2 last lap. Toby is on a 57.7.
Davis, very late move into the pits.
Oh, Jesper. I wonder.
Gets it stopped. Beautiful stop.
I wonder. He was really hot on the brakes. I wonder if he might have been too hot coming in.
Dave, debrief, non-stopping. What do you reckon?
8. Oh, look at that. Both get out exactly the same time.
Davis was very fast into the pits there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was looked at.
Well, let's see.
You think?
It looked fast. It looked fast to me, but I mean, we're watching on the broadcast here,
of course,
so.
Yeah.
But yeah, grief.
He does practice the pit entry over and over and over.
And you know what? That's why he gets the results he does, because he puts the time in. Gregory's running right now. Okay, if he's planning to do a no stopper, which is very possible, he's at a 58 flat right now. That's his pace at the 16th lap.
Oh, Strauss, it's very hard.
And so you got De Grief and Strauss 1-2. Now maybe Strauss is going no stop, but that wouldn't make a lot of sense because he's got company behind him right now. Like
he has got company.
Yeah,
of course, he's more racing Butcher and Balaka than the other way around. So, because he was way off the lead of Davis and Tolbor.
De Grief in the oak tree.
De Grief in the oak tree, sideways.
So,
quite as big a mistake as other drivers have made, but that's not going to help his tyres at all, because he'll heat them up doing that as well, and scrub away the surface.
So here's what we're looking at. He
needs a faultless run, doesn't he? He needs a faultless run. If he's not going to stop, he needs a faultless. Oh, look at that sideways! Right at the curb he got. Oh, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, that was. Look, Jesper's easily going by Toby here down the straight to take over which may end up being the cycled lead.
So Tolborg is ahead now of Toby Davis. This is what Toby Davis, of course, feared. But Tolborg's made up all that ground in the first sector, because he had a big gap actually between Tolborg and Davis.
Yep, that's right.
Recall. So he's actually, I know that the Holden has such massive power down the straight, but Sierra's better through that first sector, so Tolborg must have been very, very fast through there. And look at the difference in cornering between the two. And if Davis has a drive-through, we'll find out this lap around, and no, he doesn't. So, once again, his preparation pays off.
And also, just off screen, a side note, our movie maker, Yari Venari, is up to 13th place. He qualified 29th? 30th. So he needs 17 positions.
Solo's out the race. Solo's out the race. When did that happen?
No. Is he?
Yes.
I missed that. Oh,
Solo DNF, 4 laps to go.
Unfortunate.
Oh.
Unfortunate for Ross. Oh, Davis!
Oh, Davis inside of Tom. Great move.
Oh, I missed
inside
that.
He goes.
What was there? Did it look like there was a bit of contact there?
Let's grab a quick look. We'll see on the replay. Here we go. No, just got the run out
just went a little wide. Yep.
The corner here. There might have been slight contact here.
Squeezing him.
There was it was.
Oh, put him in the curb.
Well, it wasn't too much big deal. Then Davis just did the cutback.
Nice crossover. Nice. That was good racing. That's good stuff.
Into the fast section. There you go.
And now you got.
Could be the battle for the win. Sits watching right here. Grief lost 0.6 of a second due to his mistake at the oak tree.
So the gap.
And Strauss actually went faster than him on that lap as a result. And Davis, slow it down. Thought it was going off then, for sure. And now he's in trouble. Oh, let's go. Check the right button. Back to.
Well, and then they're going to. I think at this point, I think both Strauss and De Grief have decided to go the whole race.
Here we go, Tolborg. Here we go. Breezes right past.
Thank you very much.
And it may seem like that's an unfair advantage, but of course, Tolborg has to deal with the extra way. Davis! Just held on to it. It may seem like an unfair advantage just to casual viewers that Tolborg has the extra power, but of course,
it's not an easy car to drive.
Pace in the corners, and the car is hard on its tires.
It's heavy. It's hard to drive. All you got to do is just drive that car, and you'll see it's not an unfair advantage.
Strauss is in. Strauss has decided to abandon that plan. Maybe he's going to go mediums, I think, because he's got 11 laps to go.
Okay, 11 laps.
It makes sense he went mediums for this final section.
Levick has passed Strauss, and Butcher's coming up. Should take this position.
Strauss, it's going to be close. because the pit lane is very fast. This is going to be really close. Strauss is out. Strauss out of the pits. It's accelerating now, but of course Butcher's at full speed. Look at this. Going to go down the inside just before the first corner of the braking zone. But Strauss, I think he might be on mediums. And I fancy Strauss to take Butcher now, because Butcher's laps are already 6 laps old. Butcher's tyres are already 6 laps old.
Yeah, he pitted on lap 12. So we still have 11 laps to go. So I mean, he's definitely going to struggle.
I think actually Strauss has pitted on lap 17, hasn't he? Because he's now lap 18. So
yes. Okay, so 17 to lap 12.
So five laps difference. And also, I think he's on mediums.
Yeah. Strauss will be on mediums. Butcher's got to be on hards. There's no way he tried to go with mediums. That'd just be insane. There's
no way Strauss should be on hards either. If he is on the hards, then that's a big mistake.
Yes.
Because he needs to push and take a chance.
DeGrief dropped another wheel. Through the oak tree, he's struggling so much in the first part of the oak tree corner.
Not sure we're going to see that on the replay. We got nice view of the pits. No, we're not seeing the replay, unfortunately.
All it was is on the first part of oak tree, he came in and he's dropping a wheel on the exit of the first part, the first right-hander. I guess it's one long right-hander, but he's hitting the curbing on the outside, not on the exit, midway through the corner.
Just on the turning point to the late apex.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, he's just dropped, and it's the kind of thing. I mean, every time you do that, you're talking 0.6, maybe a second, because you're losing your run.
Slightly wide at the roller coaster there. Sorry, go ahead, Keith.
No, it's okay. No, I was just saying he's losing every time he drops a wheel there. He's losing all of his speed down that straight because he's got no traction. So he's got to limit those things because he's got a 9-second gap with 11 seconds to go. I don't think he can do it.
Davis off the track. That was almost a huge accident. That was onto it. That could have been massive if car control there. Just caught that. 58.7 from DeGrief time around. He's got an 8.9 second lead. As you say, there are 11 laps to go. We've done 18. We're on lap 19. So he needs to keep that pace up. I'm not sure it's going to be enough, you know.
DeGrief is running a 50. He's up in the high 58s now, and I
think as a result of the sliding in Oak Tree, it loses him around about 4 or 5 tenths of a second each time he does that. If he just cuts that out, he's got half a chance.
Yep, that's right. Well, again, this is a gamble he took. He took it at Sebring. It didn't work out. He's trying it here again. I mean,
interestingly, Tolborg is not going as fast in this stint of the race so far than he did in the last race, in the first stint. So that's his in with a shout, because Strauss has passed Butcher also as well. So Strauss has passed Butcher, as we thought that may happen.
Yeah,
Strauss has got a poor run out of the S's there, the snake. And
he just did it. And look, there's Berlaka.
Thank you very much.
Berlaka's just finished his bottle of vodka and he's coming in.
Keith, that was terrible.
That was awful.
And Strauss is pushing very, very hard, as is Chris Butcher, going down the hill towards the oak tree. Those curbs. You just hit those curbs. They're Strauss on the inside. He's been so good at the oak tree so far. Strauss up the inside, squeezing Butcher. Sideways on the exit, and Butcher just have the power down the straight now, however, so it's kind of a bit futile. And we saw Strauss do a fantastic evasive manoeuvre on Berlaka earlier in the race.
Yep.
And he's pulled a great move earlier on as well at that corner. He's right in the slipstream here. Will he go for the inside under braking?
Jesper has gapped Toby now to over a second. 1.2.
Oh. And Strauss around the outside! Strauss around the outside! And
what a move!
Down the inside of the next corner! Oh, what a move! What a move! Florian Strauss, I bow down to you.
He is a phenomenal pilot.
That was an excellent move on ball with Strauss. There is Butcher, struggling to break it slightly. Strauss has found himself on the outside, so he thought, right, fine, put me on the outside, I'll have the inside for the next one. Thank you very much. That's my position. We see Tony Matthews just recovering from another spin.
It takes nerve to do that.
That is
definitely takes nerve.
Hitting those curbs hard.
Strauss's
car can hit the curbs harder than anybody else, it seems.
Are we still on replay here?
We are still on replay. And Butcher they're battling now challenging back again. Oh, Butcher, deep. This is where Strauss needs to make hay in this section.
The sun's shining.
And Butcher's going slightly deep.
Oh, wow.
Good change direction, though.
Another side note, our movie maker, Yari Benari, up to 12th position from 30th. 18 positions he's made up in this race.
He's a real race. He finished 5th in the Season 1 of World Touring Masters, so he's no mean driver. And Strauss now has a decent gap, and he should be able to keep that over Chris Butcher. The gap between Tolborg and DeGrief is 7.5 seconds.
I don't think De Grief's going to be able to hold it. I can't see it.
9.5 laps to go.
Oh, now it's down to
6.4.
half a second in that one sector.
Oh, I think Gregory's made a mistake at the oak tree once again.
I think on what was my prediction here? I think I got Talberg to win, De Grief second, Toby Davis third. So let's De Grief just slide in between Talberg and Davis.
I had Strauss to win, and he's still battling for that 5th position with Chris Butcher. With Chris Butcher, leave him alone. As they go side by side once again into the roller coaster. It's roles reversed this time around. Butcher on the outside, Strauss on the inside. Squeeze into the corner. Yes, that's right, Strauss. You had to squeeze the corner and just cut off the angle. That's what you have to do. You cannot allow someone to go around outside. And Balaka's getting well involved here. He's loving this battle.
Loving it. This is like roles reversed from the first stint, because it was Strauss in the back watching Balaka and Butcher battle.
Yep. It's been a super. Strauss almost went into the pits as a result of that. Strauss is okay, and it's been a beautiful 6-3-5 Butcher battle all race long.
I got one prediction here. I think Talberg will catch and pass De Grief. I don't know if Toby Davis has the pace to catch him. He's already down 2 seconds to Talberg. He's 8 seconds away from De Grief.
8 laps to go.
8 laps to go, and Davis seems to be struggling here.
And look who's into 8th position, Keith.
8th position.
He's off the track as well. Just as I said that. Anyway, Evo, my good friend Evo, sorry about that. The commentator's curse, obviously, but again, Mr. Softly.
Yep, that's
Goes
right.
Off earlier in the race, and now he's up to 8th.
It's
he's way back off the battle for 7th. But
and you know what? William Levike, he has not pitted. He's going the whole race, and he's still in 4th with 6 seconds ahead of Strauss of that battle. And the more
if they keep battling, then Levike could find himself in 4th position, which would be a fantastic result for him.
The Alpha is very good on tires, is it not?
The Alpha is excellent tires. It's one of the best on the tires, along with the M3 and Supra. Most of them into the pits as well. He's pitted very, very late indeed.
He's driving very, very smart with the tires that he's got. De Grief, obviously seems to be pushing. I think he's calmed down a little bit. His lap times have settled down. Now he's lapping at the. He did a 1:57.9 just 2 laps ago. So if he can maintain this pace...
Oh, he's sideways that final corner again, though.
Yeah,
it's getting more and more difficult, it seems. He's coming up to lap his fellow Skyline driver, Peter Bartheit. And you can see, actually, all 3 of the front runners are now in the same shot. There they are, in the background. Fastest lap from Talberg, yes! 56.1.
Yes! That was part of my prediction, too.
56.1 from Jesper Talberg. That's a fantastic lap time.
That
really is excellent, because the best one before it was 56.4.
56.4 by Butcher on lap 2. That's incredible.
Davis is 6.3 seconds behind with 7 laps to go. Will he catch De Grief?
Well, look at
of course, he'll be helped by the fact Talberg goes past De Grief and probably holds up De Grief a little bit as well. So I would expect Davis to get second.
If you want my just me personally, I think that De Grief will allow Jesper by quickly. No fuss, no muss. He's going to just race his own race and try to keep Toby Davis behind him, because they're racing for the championship right now. Obviously, I'm not saying Jesper's not a factor, but trying to keep back a Holden is not. It just doesn't happen at this track.
No,
it just like down the straight, especially in the condition of his car right now. But him and Davis, that's a little more fair, a little more equal battle. There's no racing advantage one over the other. Just he's got no tires left.
I think Butcher and Balaka were very, very close at the line, but Balaka must have had a go during sector 1. The gap is now back. Oh, Butcher hit the curb a bit hard there. Careful, Chris. Keeps it all together though. Strauss has gapped this battle now. Butcher's still in that 635 sandwich. He must be absolutely sick of. And he's gone straight off the track as well on the approach to the oak tree. Oh, Strauss is off! Strauss is off!
Oh,
the curb!
No way!
Praise him all that long. And Butcher's going to go past him on the straight. He's going to have much better power.
And
which side you choose, though? That's the thing.
And you know what we were saying with commentators' curse? It's in the spot that he's been driving perfectly in. The oak tree.
There, all race long, and Butcher's just about past. Will Butcher cut straight across? He doesn't have room to do so. Strauss is going to go deep on the brakes. Oh, Butcher takes it. Oh, God, Strauss is off! Strauss is off! He's going to go sliding into the grass. Oh, it's all going wrong for Florian Strauss. He's back to 7th. Oh, and the scientist no more. He's scientist. Will you stop calling people things because they keep crashing?
Well, let's look at that again. Let's see, because it was clean on Butcher's part. He just came in hot on his bumper.
Yep. Here we go.
There's no saving it. No saving it from there.
No save. Just one of those slow, horrid spins. You know what they feel like.
Those.
They just take ages to recover from.
You could read a book in the time it takes you to finally
stop.
Stop.
I hate them. And it's always the tiniest of mistakes as well that does it. Levi has a 4.6 second gap on Butcher.
Well done, my fellow Canadian.
So there's 7 laps to go, so probably won't be able to keep that up, but he will get at least 6th, I would guess.
Let me have a look here. His times are, he's consistently in the mid 58s. I think Butcher's got way more pace to catch him. He's doing mid 57 to high 57, so we're talking maybe a second a lap.
But the Viking mid 58s, Keith, that's on par with the leader.
Yeah, it is.
He's
running the same pace as De Grief right now in the Alpha with the same tires and the same fuel, which is phenomenal.
It's fantastic.
Incredible.
Of course, the Alpha looks after its tyres better, but the Alpha doesn't have the power of the Skyline.
No, but I definitely, I will say one thing. Gregory probably used his tires up more so at the start than he was expecting, because let's just take out that whole battling at the start of the race. Let's say he ended up just getting clear track, could just drive lap. I bet you he would have more tires right now, and he'd probably be lapping about 3 or 4 tenths quicker, and could totally change the whole outcome of the race.
Toby Davis is 4.7 seconds behind Gregory De Grief with 6 and a... Oh. What's happened there?
Oh, no.
Disconnected. Oh, no. Surely not. No, wrong replay. My bad.
Oh, jeez. Ryan.
Wrong replay because it's...
Ryan. Don't do that to me or the viewers.
Sorry about that, viewers.
Oh.
And Tolborg is 1.6 seconds behind Gregory De Grief.
I was already starting to calculate championship points, man.
No, you weren't. Your math is awful.
I know.
Take to the next race to do that. Toby Davis is in third, 4.6 seconds behind. He's not gapping De Grief fast enough really for his liking. He might just about make it there. But he's definitely not going to catch Tob. It's 3 seconds gap now between Tolborg and Davis. You know what? That thumb is beginning to hurt.
Just on a side note here, there's a really good battle between Venari, who's now up to 11th, and Mustonen. Rauvio was in there. Mustonen. So he's got some fresh tires, but there was 4 cars, and then one just drove off. It was
Aznahi is there as well, and Rauvio.
And Rauvio actually drove off the track there. He was right on the bumper of Mustonen, and it was looking like it's going to be a good battle.
So Rauvio's going to go straight past his fellow Mobil 1 liveried car of Alberto Aznahi.
Yeah,
and go back up into that 13th position. It's a good battle. And Musonen's having a look at Venari also as well.
And he's got fresher
tyres. Oh, it's Rauvio on the inside! Rauvio's far too deep. He's going to go... How did he stop that? He managed not to go off the track. And well avoided Mustonen.
Oh, and Tolberg is going to be taking the lead right now. He's on the bumper. They're coming up on 2-lap cars.
And I think you just have to let him go.
Yeah,
you squeezes him slightly just to try and make a mistake, but not too hard.
Picture.
He's
picture.
He's not. Oh, he is fighting for it.
This to me
surely he shouldn't do this because he's got 5 laps to fight him off, and that's too long.
It's not going to happen. You got to think big picture on this race. You've got a guy behind you. Well, he probably just lost about a half a second to Toby there.
Oh, he's sideways again. Out of the final corner. Seen that a lot so far this race.
He's got to let Jesper go and focus on potentially keeping Toby behind, because that's his only shot. That's his only shot to make points up here.
Look.
This isn't the right move, in my opinion.
It's entertaining for us, but not the best move, I would say. I thought it was because across the front of Tolborg then.
You have a potential of having an incident here.
Blonde's off in front of them. They've got 2-lap cars in front of them. Bajuro's going past Blonde. They're fighting each other. Are they paying attention to the leaders? Is De Grief perhaps going to use the traffic?
Now Toby Davis is closed right up on him. He closed up 2 full seconds because they're battling right now. 2 full seconds.
59-1 from De Grief as a result of that. He just can't. Not going to be able to fight him off for 5 laps.
No, this is not the right move.
The Holds keep it up with him in this bit here, and then when we get to the straight, boom, straight past.
Yeah, just go. He really should just let him go. This isn't the right move.
Should let me go here.
Now.
Oh, he's side by side throw. What are you doing, boys? Boys at play. What are you doing to each other?
Now, I'm going to eat my hat if he ends up defending to the end, but I'm just because he's really doing a good job.
He's got no chance now, though. This is going to be so close into the oak tree. Perhaps he's just trying to force a mistake from Tolborg. Davis is right there now.
He's right on his bumper now. Again.
This is just the story of the season so far.
Toby
Davis is really quick. Let's just hand the race to him.
The races just get handed to him. Like now, Davis is close enough.
If you've had a 4-second gap.
Yeah, he had a 4-second
Davis.
gap.
Now it's a 1 second gap.
Ah, man. Like, and
he's lost it anyway, look.
I can't faulter De Grief. He's making his decisions, but I'm just saying from a.
Oh, it's not too deep. He's hit Tobor.
Contact.
That's far too deep there from De Grief.
Wow.
That was close. And now Davies is going to have a go at De Grief as well. We've seen this earlier in the race at the exact same point, actually.
Yep.
But this time, Davies does not go past.
And De Grief's got some serious tires. I mean, Davis's hand may be hurting too because it's been a long run here, and he's really been working the wheel. But like his decision to race with Jesper, which was inevitable, he was getting by, has inevitably led to this, where he's going to potentially lose a large amount of points.
He has to defend for 4 laps now, whereas he
was.
Davies!
Davis
is off!
Davis
is off! Oh, De Grief has made the right decision. Davis is off!
Oh my God! No
He's actually
way.
got a bigger gap he had than before. Davis is off. He's gone back behind the 2 back markers once again. They've got best seats in the house, these two, Badura and Blonde.
All right. When you watch this, Gregory, you were right. It all worked out.
He almost took Gregory out, though. It was so close.
Wow.
De Grief almost went off into the grass himself as a result of that. But that's the second Sierra we've seen that do it earlier in the race. We saw Butcher do that to De Grief earlier.
Yes, yeah, that's right. In the same spot, because you get a little loose under braking, get up on that the grass, and you cut across. Man.
Bigger gap than ever, and he's got less laps to defend it, so...
Yep. Hey, that horseshoe's a very tricky corner when you lock the brakes up.
It was a lucky horseshoe for Gregory De Grief.
No kidding. So he's got a 3-second gap with looks like a little over 3 laps to go. I'm sure he overheated his tires by doing that, so he's gonna it'll take him a bit to get back into pace there.
He'll probably be defending by the last 1.5 laps. Because Davis is not far behind already.
Never a dull moment in the WTM. Oh, and look, Butchie's on Levesque. Butchie, and you know he wants that spot.
He's going to go past. I don't think Levi can really fight it. Sierra's just that much quicker than the Alpha down the straight.
And he's literally just cruising around. Berlacca's not actually all that far out of the picture too.
Well, he's some 4.2 seconds back. I don't think he's going to be able to make the time up. And Strauss is 3 seconds back of him. I think Berlacca's made a mistake at some point because Strauss has closed the gap down to them.
Well, if right now the way it sits...
Here we go.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
On the outside. Levaik is fighting a little bit, but not too hard. That's what De Grief should have done. But there you go.
Well, hey, it worked.
Made it very exciting indeed.
It all worked out. But
the gap between Davis and De Grief, is 2.3 seconds. Go ahead, Keith.
2.3. Okay, yeah. So we've got Berlacca, Levesque's pace has definitely dropped significantly in these last few laps. So he could potentially be caught up by Berlacca. The gap's only down to 3.7 seconds now. It just jumped up
4.7. Yeah, so he might be okay. He's got 3 laps to keep that gap, and he's keeping pace with Butcher.
Incredible run from William.
Great
incredible.
Run from William.
Berlacca seems to be struggling with his tires.
Yeah, Berlacca pitted very early. He pitted 1 lap after Chris Butcher, right?
He did, yep.
And Strauss.
And that battle is still going on with Benari, Rauvio, Musten, and Nagy.
Let's go back and look at this.
Let's have a look at this.
Here, look at this train of cars. Benari's still ahead of them all.
Benari,
so I want to know.
he has gained 19 positions in this race. 19 people.
There you go.
19 positions. Unbelievable. Andy Benari actually 11 spots too, but Benari has had an incredible run.
Oh, Rauvio hit Benari! Oh, it's all gone wrong. Benari's off. He's down.
Oh, the horror.
He rejoins just behind Alberto. Ravio's ahead of him now as a result of that. We are terrible today. We are cursing everyone.
Terrible.
And there it is. Ravio just slightly too deep in the brakes. He got a nice little correction there from Mustonen and got going again.
Yeah, he owes him.
Yep. It was Mikko Pine.
Yeah, so Benari loses spots.
He's actually given that position back. He was into the pits. Ravio to the pits.
Huh. Maybe fuel?
Must have needed fuel? Yeah, it's 3 laps to go. Don't care how bad your tyres are. There's no point doing that. So Benari is up to now in 13th as a result. He's now got to try and fight back past Alberto Mustonen as well. So Lennon's caught up to Tveit. Here's the Rover battle. The Rover honours.
That's a big run from Lennon. And actually, Tveit, remember, he actually almost went over.
Yep. And Eric Tveit.
Oh man, is De Grief going to hold him off?
16th.
Davis is on De Grief. Is he going to hold him? how many laps? We got 2 laps. This lap, and then we're starting the next. Is the next lap the last lap, or there's 2 more?
This is the penultimate lap.
Oh, penultimate lap! Come on. I'm kind of rooting for De Grief because it'll bring the championship battle a little bit closer too.
Well, because Torbo will gain more points also as well.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, and it'll be a really tight 3-horse race going into the fourth round.
Fourth round is at Salzburgring. 2 sprint races there, so all to play for.
Oh yes, lots of fun.
And it's a power track, very much a power track. The Holdens will love it there. The Holden came second last year in the Hans van der Nielsen. Rover actually won it in the hands of Ben Crooks.
Davis!
It's gone too aggressive, and it almost done a bite.
He's still there.
He's gone too aggressive.
There.
He's lost half a second, and he's going to take another half a lap to get that back again. He just keeps letting De Grief off the hook.
Yeah. Hey, I'm kind of hoping it stays this way because then I got the top 3 right. Actually, if Perlaka could catch and pass Levesque, I'd have 4 out of 6.
There's going to be an investigation here, bribery between TPS officials and the TPS drivers. Davis just making those mistakes that, I mean, to be fair, actually, 2 seasons ago, that mistake would have seen him in the wall. This season, he's not in the wall. He's just making the small error. So,
and what? Though,
he's cutting those out.
He definitely has a calmer head on him this season compared to last. I mean, you remember some of the races, he's just frantically pushing all the sideways.
Rabio. Why he's pushing so hard? He's way back.
Is he? Okay, so this is the last lap. We have
last lap.
We have a minute and 57 seconds to make.
We've seen this before. We saw this at the weekend. Tolbo had it under complete control.
There's no more walls for him to hit though here.
Well, sure we can find one.
Oh God! Oh, Davis is right on De Grief now.
Oh, this is
going to be it. This is going to be it.
If Davis wants to make a move, he's going to have to be strong about it because De Grief will not give him.
No, he's not going to give him an inch. Nothing. He's getting nothing.
Just keeping it nice and tight. Oh, how close it is! The tyres are really going away on De Grief. Look at the car wiggling under power. Oh, Davis hits the curb hard, and that cost him a slight bit of time down the straight. That's allowed De Grief to pull away and not have to look in his mirrors.
Oh man, this is going to be a tight finish.
This is going to be very, very close. Looks like Torbo's going to take the win, but who's going to be second? Is it De Grief or Davis?
And they're coming up on some lap traffic too, I think.
De Grief had to go so slow into there. De Grief had to go so slow that Davis hasn't run. Davis
he's on the grass.
And the grass there was turning him. And De Grief keeping it nice and tight.
Oh no, look.
But Davis is going for the run. Davis is going for the run. Now De Grief has to cover. That was bad timing.
Yeah,
he just changed gear at the same time and it just closed him up and stopped him having a run.
Wow,
that was amazing. Look at the skyline power down the straight.
Yeah, it's got. Yeah, this is going to be such a good finish.
Oh, look at this. Davis right in behind De Grief.
You're not. No, surely not.
Oh, so close. Small bit of contact again. Contact again 3 times.
Come on.
De Grief is going to hold it. De Grief is going to hold that mistake. Torbo's going to take the win.
Torbo's going to take the win.
And Davis is going to find a corner. Davis makes a run to the inside. Not going to happen. Out of the corner they come. De Grief looks like he's going to hold it. Torbo's going to win. It's retribution for Jesper Torborg.
Wow.
But who's going to be second? Is it De Grief or Davis?
He's got it. De Grief.
It's got to be De Grief in second.
Wow.
Third place goes to Davis after a classic battle.
Wow.
Another great WTM race here at Virginia International Raceway. Fourth place is going to be Chris Butcher. Fifth place, and a superb result for the Alfa Romeo of William Levesque. We saw this car last year was capable of race wins in the hands of Gregory De Grief, but this track is a bit more difficult for this car, and he finishes in 5th. He's delighted with that, flashes his lights across the line. Balaka in 6th. 7th was Florian Strauss. There goes my prediction. 8th place will be Ivo Simons. What a race, Keith, and what a finish. Keith? We lost Keith. Keith?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yes.
Okay, sorry.
Just saying, what a race, what a finish.
It's unbelievable. I mean, Gregory, again, with his choice to go the whole race, ends up getting another second place, which is phenomenal. That's amazing. I wasn't expecting to see anyone actually do that, but it worked out, and he was able to keep Toby at bay, and it ended up being an amazing finish, and now we're headed into the 4th round with a really, really tight championship battle.
We are, and we're also joined by a couple of the drivers from that race. We'll start off with Mr. Chris Butcher, who had a fantastic battle with the 635s. How did that feel, being in that sandwich all the race long?
It was a bit annoying actually, because I felt like I was a bit out of position. I felt like I was a bit quicker than that, but I got my strategy wrong, and I was a bit off the pace with tyres and what have you. It was a bit frustrating because they were better on the brakes and in the corners, and obviously I'd get along the side down the straight, but sometimes they weren't leaving enough room as well. But I got the better of it in the end, and yeah.
You did, and we saw you go off on the second lap. You went back to sixth position at that point. Were you confident of coming back through, or did you fear for your race at that point?
No, I was fairly confident. I mean, I caught back up to the back of that train pretty quickly, but fighting with them kind of made my tyres go off a bit quicker than I expected, so that kind of put my strategy out.
Yeah, you pitted very, very early. Just fill the viewers in, and the rest of the field came through. Zweig finished in 9th, Lennon in 10th, Muslin got that 11th place, Venari got back up to 12th after that contact with Ravio from 13th, beating Alberto Asnahi. 14th Clausen, 15th Bernard, Ravio, Bajura, Bartfai, Blond in 19th, getting his first points of the season, Dobbing in 20th with the final points, 21st Matthews, 22nd Jayadji after that terrible pit stop, 23rd was David Junt, 24th Roy Magnez, and rounding up 25 was Ricardo Asnahi, so he was soundly beaten by his brother. We're also joined by Toby Davis. Very eventful race, Toby.
Yeah, it didn't exactly go as I had originally planned. I was hoping to get a much better start than what I got, and turned out that it wasn't quite good enough for second. I was hoping for at least second. Jesper definitely had the pace to kill us all, but yeah, third's all right.
I was just getting interrupted by the game. Turn them down. And I mean, you've had a great start to the championship, Toby. Are you disappointed with third place from here today, or is that kind of what you expected?
I suppose it's good to be disappointed with third, and I mean, if I keep getting podiums, then I'm in with a good shout.
You are, but what do you make of Tolborg's pace today? Do you expect him to be so quick? I mean, over the stint as well. I mean, he was quick at the end of all the stints.
Yeah, it was a bit unusual. I was hoping his tyres would drop off, and they just never did. He kept putting those laps in.
So I'm quite annoyed.
So, I'm not really annoyed. It's obviously frustrating to be beaten, but third's a very good result at the end of the day. I messed up overtaking De Grief twice, so that frustrates me more. To be honest, I was probably a bit robust in the first lap, and I messed up twice near the end as well, overtaking him. So, but never mind. I mean, congratulations to Jesper and Greg, especially Greg, because running the whole race without changing tyres, and he nearly pulled it off again. And I'm afraid Jesper was unstoppable today. But congratulations to him.
Hey, Toby, one thing I noticed for sure is that compared to last season is those little incidents where you're up on, me and Ryan were both commenting on this, where like you get up on two wheels and there's a small mistake made. You're really able to kind of keep your head together and collect yourself and then carry on. Whereas last season it was like if something like that happened, it always seemed like you managed to find a wall or a tire or a tree or something. So it seems from a viewer standpoint that you've really kind of kept your head together and you're keeping really calm when something like that happens and preventing yourself from having those disastrous accidents. So just something that I noticed. Have you noticed that about yourself too?
Yeah, but I mean equally, Keith, the last two races I've been either leading or catching a leader who isn't doing to the same lap times as me. So I haven't put myself under the pressure like I did today. And today I actually made like a few more mistakes than I would have liked. I was up, as you say, I was up on two wheels at one point. I made a complete hash of overtaking De Grief, put a wheel on the grass under braking, and ran wide as well to let Telborg through after the pit stops. So I made a few too many errors today. And I need to cut them out, ready for the next round.
I mean, how much of a factor was your thumb? Was it distracting you, or was it not a problem at all?
Yeah, it's. I mean, I can't bend it, so I have to drive with it sort of waving in the air. But it's not. It's actually.
Like
it's actually not. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with your finger. But it's not as bad as it sounds. It's just I can't grip. But my right hand's mainly changing gear anyway with a H shifter, so it doesn't hinder me too much. I can't blame anything on my thumb. It's
Okay. Just wondering if maybe be a factor in the result, because you often see just a slight distraction can just break concentration. Of course, only 2 or 3 tenths is needed on that when that happens, and it all kind of spirals out of control. Congratulations on another podium there, Toby, and you're going to keep the championship lead, of course, going into Salzburgring. Another driver who hates shifts and also had a great race was William Levi. Congratulations to you, your 5th place.
Well done, fellow Canadian.
Yeah, thanks a lot. First off, I want to apologize to Oja for the tap on the first lap. But after that, little battle with Veit, and he almost rolled. And from there, I was just holding pace, keeping my tires in check. And I'd say that the threesome behind me between Berlacca, Strauss, and Butcher was helping me a lot. And finally 5th, so I'm quite happy with that.
It was a very impressive run, of course, in the Alfa Romeo. It's your best result of the season so far. Did you expect to come home 5th, or would you have been happy with 8th?
I knew I had the pace, but I wasn't expecting to be that fast throughout the race. And I'd say not pitting was very helpful. And I think it's going to be the strategy all season when I can.
Well, Ryan, also, he was actually, William, you were actually lapping at the same pace as Gregory at the end of the race. You were within a tenth. You were actually quicker on some laps than Gregory, who also went through the entire race. So you were handling yourself really well at the end of the race there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was very good. It obviously shows how well you held your tyres together. And again, coming off a run of strong results in the V8s as well. So you're really in hot form at the moment. We'll look out for you at Bathurst at the weekend. Another person will be at Bathurst at the weekend, but has had a difficult season so far and another difficult race. Mr. David Junt.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Hello, David.
Yes, what do you want? No? About my race today?
Yes. You had a difficult race.
Oh, yeah, difficult is not even the meaning of that. I mean, I was coming into this race with no practice, so nearly nothing. And then, well, I think the starting place I had wasn't too bad for that what I had. And at the start was, well, it was okay, but then in the SS I knocked on the rear door of Ole Pinky, and we got some confusion in the field, and they managed to gap us. So I'm not sure if my lap 1 was really anything to say about. So I had to try to keep Muston behind me, and well, I was just running for 13. I thought it was good enough like that, but then spun on some stupid curb, had to pit for 40 seconds, came back out, tried to overtake Roy, outbraked myself, crashed again, and so I had to settle for something like a back seat to watch the race. It was just lucky that just put it lap once more.
Yeah, so lucky there, David. Hopefully you get better look at the Salzburgring. And Jeff Dobbins is here as well. I don't know if he wants to talk to us. His mic is muted. Oh, he just wants to talk to us. Look at that. Hello, Jeff. And you got the final points playing position today. How was your race?
Yeah, another tough one. I'm sure in the right circumstances the Supra will be a good car, but I just can't seem to get the most out of it.
Another one is complaining about the car. I mean, does it not suit you, or does it not have enough power? Is that the problem?
It's not a car to me, mate. It's, just run out of talent, that's all. Yeah, I'm sure you'll give it to Toby or somebody like that. They'll do flying laps in it, but yeah, points on the board.
Well, you're from Newcastle, so not going to find much talent in there, are we? Anyway, for those who don't know, I'm from Sunderland, so there's a little bit of needle there. And congratulations on your new stadium name, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Only British people who know football will get that. SAFC. Anyway, thank you, boys, for entertaining us this evening. Going off on a tangent.
No worries.
And we'll catch you guys, some of you, on Saturday actually at Bathurst for the final round of that championship. Just sum that race up for us, Keith.
Excitement. First stint was just non-stop action. I'm actually looking forward to watching the broadcast over and seeing all that battling. And I mean, even just seeing how the strategies played out at the end. You had some battling right up to the end with Florian Strauss, Berlacca. A shame. It was a shame that Salo had to go out so early because I think he would have been a factor overall in the final top 6. But no, it was. I mean, exactly what can be expected of any WTM race.
It was very entertaining indeed, and we're again back in 2 weeks' time for round 4. It's a sprint event, so that means 2 shorter races, 2 half-length races at the Salzburg Ring track. We went last year and we did one long race there, so it'd be interesting to see how 2 short races go this time around. It's a beautiful track as well. And we'll see you there in 2 weeks' time. The next Touring Pro Series broadcast is at the weekend, and it's nothing less than the Mount Panorama event, Bathurst 700, the finale of the World V8 Supercars Championship, with the championship completely up for grabs. There's just a gap of less than 20 points between Schlemo and Strauss, with Torborg also with an outside chance of taking the win, with 300 points on offer. Definitely got a chance of taking the championship overall, despite not winning a race so far this season. After a very exciting race last weekend at Sydney Park, looking forward to more fireworks there, aren't we, Keith?
Oh, I was able to catch up. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be with you for the last race, but definitely will be there for the finale. And after the last race, I'm excited to see what transpires at Mount Panorama. I mean, Bathurst. That's really all you got to say is Bathurst. It's a name synonymous with great racing.
Yes, it is, and it's absolutely my favourite track. I cannot wait for that event. So you guys can join us from 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock GMT in the afternoon. That'll be 11 o'clock if you're where you are with Keith. It'll be 5 o'clock if you're in Central Europe. So we'll see you guys then, and thank you for watching the World Touring Masters. As I say, we're back in 2 weeks' time, and you can catch us then. Thanks for watching, guys.